Good evening, Air Gunners. This is Air Gunner's Edge. Just had things twisting in my head again. What I have here is my AT44-QE long 22 at the bottom, and of course my Airmax 22 up top. Well, as I was looking around on the net, I was thinking about picking up another cylinder for my AT44-QE long. And I did notice it also includes the bull boss, which pretty much my AT44-QE, my Hatsan Airmax pretty much is, with a different stock and tube with bottle. So technically in my head, I was just thinking this should or could possibly fit on my AT44. And I believe it will. Okay. All right, let's see if we can get in here. Okay. AT44-QE long has the threads and screws in. The Bull Boss or Airmax does not. They have two grub screws that hold this in. I would just have to empty both the air out of both of them, swap over the valves, and this would technically fit on here. And this is 670cc air supply, and it would need, of course, a little minor little fabrication touch. As you see, I do have a gap here right now because it is the wrong valve, but you see I have at least an inch there. Not quite an inch here. If this was a permanent thing or I had an extra stock, I could just nip this right off. But that would be one hell of a gun. And I do love my AT44. As I've said many times, Hatsan, if they made it more accessible for parts or sold kits to do things like this, and this is what a lot of us guys like to do. I like to come up with the stuff in my mind and see if I can actually make it work in the real world. But really, to keep up in this industry, I really think Hatsan needs to think of doing something similar to this. Make parts or have them send it in, but a lot of people don't want to send their guns in. That's 2-3 week time. They're waiting. I understand insurance, liability, stuff like that. But if FX can sell you a barrel liner and have it work and you changing your parts, then they got to be covering their butt somehow. But I love Hatsan. Interchangeability, it's kind of off. Some of it will work, some of it will not. My Hatsan flash and my flash pup, larger diameter OD for the air tube and shorter, which I understand you're trying to keep the gun short, make it thicker, but an adapter or something like that to, say, try to experiment and put this on a flash or a flash pup, just giving guys like us a little opportunity to tune and tweak and make our own kind of thing. So obviously I'm not going to cut this down and actually make this work. If I didn't have to cut this, I would absolutely drain it, throw the new valve on there, and I would be shooting this thing tomorrow, even though we're supposed to have like 50-mile-an-hour winds. I think it's just unique, cool, front heavy as a mother. But I mean, this was my very first PCP. I love this gun. I got it tuned for the kids right now. I get an almost 50 shots out of 18 grain with a Huma reg set at 110. So the kids love this. I don't have to keep filling the gun up. The 230 tube does fine with this. I forget, 830 FPS average, I think, with the 18 grains. Still amazing at 100 yards. Kids don't shoot 100 yards. They shoot 20, 30. So it works out good for them. Anyways, I just thought I wanted to share this with you. I mean, if I wanted to, I could keep an extra tube. Well, that's the thing. Now we're talking fittings. So now I would have to get the correct fitting, an extra tube, so I could put that fitting on. But I don't know. I love doing this stuff, and I just love experimenting. And this is what I do for fun. So I just wish Hatsan would go in kind of that direction, because if they made their guns more universal, kind of build your own deal. I know they do have a new gun out. You can get 177, 22, 25, all for the same gun. I know that's out there, but you got to think about the guns that already are in existence. We love these guns. I mean, other than the weight for the AT44, I don't have an issue with this gun. This thing is amazing. This is pretty much how I started learning how to work on PCP air rifles. Did all my homework. This isn't the best, but it is. These are all plugged up. I did not take the epoxy and fill this in yet. I'm actually still doing more testing. I had both of these closed and just one big open port, chamfered. But then I decided to take the grub screws out of the two side ones from the big one, and actually it really did perform, and that's what I've been doing, is experimenting. Yes, I know I'm missing the bottom O-ring, so I know I took that off. Anyways, yeah, you would have to replace this. I do actually plan on doing the same thing to my Airmax. Sorry, I got the camera all messed up. So what I will do is find the very top hole that goes to the transfer port, and if it does not line up perfectly, I will put a shim here, so one of these holes will line up perfectly with the transfer port. I will drill, if I have to, and tap all these holes, and I will plug them up, and I will enlarge the direct transfer port hole from the valve, and that will be my main air supply. Instead of having all the air come out of all these holes and then go around and then up through the transfer port, I will just have one single large hole, or if I might try the two side ones out as well, but it'll be a more direct air coming right up into the transfer port. And this made a big difference on my AT44. It shot great stock, lower FPS with the 18s, but when you wanted to use the big ones, 21 grain H&N, those things needed a little more oomph, so that really helped out. Okay, I just thought I'd share this with you guys. Just wrapping up my Easter dinner, and got pie in the oven. So when my head's spinning, I got to get it out somehow, and I just wanted to share this with you guys. Okay, so you guys have a good night. The weather's supposed to be crappy, so that's why I'm kind of doing this. I had a little time, and I'll get them all back together. And I really would love to put that big air supply on my AT44 just to have fun and use, but I'm not going to cut the stock. I do like the stock, even though it's synthetic. Maybe if I could find one on eBay damaged or something, I could pick it up cheap, and I could molest it a little to make things fit. But yeah, I mean, literally I'd probably just have to take right here at the line, so it would be more blunt, but I think I could just polish it off. Some fine sandpaper and some compound, and just kind of blend it in, make it look almost stock, and I'll just have fun with it. It'll definitely be a bench gun. I will not be holding that or standing up here. My arms would get tired pretty fast. Alright, well, I'm going to end it here and go get some pie, and you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. And until the next video, good shooting if you got it, and be safe, please.